requiring him to appear in court over 100 separate times.
I haven't beaten a trial. I haven't gone to trial and won. No, I've never been to trial ever. Every single nation,
every day for 4 years, I've said
George
Bybit
Soros funded NGOs has attempted to find evidence to put me in jail, and they never, Romania, England, never found enough evidence to even get to trial. 6 years I've been waiting to prove my innocence, and I have never, ever had a trial. What I've had is accusations. What I've had is Twitter detectives thinking they know more than judges.
The most realistic path to breaking this deadlock is for both governments to engage in direct dialogue and reach an agreement for Britain to take its turn first.
Decade-old videos saying I said something which was uncouth 10 years ago, but a comedian can make a joke on YouTube pretending he's racist or a cowboy. It doesn't make him racist or a cowboy. YouTube videos are not real. You need victims, you need medical records, you need proof, you need a date, a time, a where, a when. You need people to testify against you. You need evidence. I have never even had a trial ever. And I've been begging my lawyers, get me to trial. Take this to trial. I want to prove I'm innocent. Let's get all the facts out there. Let's go to trial. Let's show that I'm completely innocent from head to toe. And no nation state has ever managed to even get me in court.
Mapping out the possible outcomes reveals a bizarre chain of events. One scenario sees the United States extraditing him to Britain under the existing treaty between the two nations, only for Romania to request Britain return him so they can finish their own proceedings. That would require both countries to negotiate a coordinated plan. His arrest sparked calls from prominent Republicans and other leaders urging Trump to intervene, arguing that the brothers are receiving the same politically motivated treatment the president claims was aimed at him. A U.S. official told The Telegraph that the White House will not involve itself in a case expected to last months, stating plainly that they have no involvement and no interest. Adding an odd twist, Kamala Harris, who lost the presidential race to Trump, wrote in her book that public support for her from figures like Andrew Tate was one of the factors that hurt her campaign.
Turns out Kamala admits that we moved the fucking needle. That is a flex, bro. 2025, write it in stone. Because they're going to delete everything off the internet. They're going to delete it all off Wikipedia. Write it in stone. Go to Mount Rushmore. Andrew Tate defeated Kamala Harris. He did it. Even though they were putting him in jail, locking him in his house. Guys, don't think when I go out of jail and I was in house arrest, I wasn't told to shut up. Andrew, you shut up. If you don't say anything, this will all go away. Just wait for the election, wait for Trump to lose, wait for Kamala to win, and we'll let you off. All you have to do is sit and be quiet. We'll let you free from your house if you just live a quiet life. No, they raided my house again, dragged me back to jail. Still don't shut up. Still fight back. Still fuck you. They tried everything. Unfazed, last bullet, kept going viral. Kamala Harris's whole campaign fucking failed. It failed. It failed. Because of me. I did it. Me. And she admitted it. She admitted it in black and fucking white. I affected a presidential election. I did.
That is the context behind Sneako attacking him so relentlessly. The two were on good terms at one point before their relationship fell apart. Sneako's argument is that years of praising Trump and building those associations bought Tate nothing, because none of them are showing up for him now.
The reason they did that, thank you for the sub, 90. The reason that the Tates never criticized Trump is because deep down, they were really hoping that Trump would go and save them if they got arrested and if they were called to be extradited to the United Kingdom. Well, look, it didn't work, stupid.
You're getting a 90%
now you're arrested. Trump's not going to save you. All that twerking you did, all that begging you did. Look now. You thought that you could sacrifice your own religion, you could sell out your own people, your own faith, apparently. It didn't even work. Trump's not going to save you. All that slurping you did. They destroyed their reputation by throwing me under the bus, by saying...
It's going to appreciate against the dollar forever. Yeah, I'll be buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top forever. Buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top. I'll be buying at the top forever. 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 Yeah, I'll be buying at the top forever.
GM guys, welcome back to the stream. Another day, another pump. It's a Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. I see my man Ninzo is already online here. I'm late today, guys. I was locked in, doing some trades, looking for new opportunities, scrapping the internet, all corners. In fact, actually, I was fighting. I'm now fighting for my money with FTX. So I tried to log into my FTX account today to see what's going on. What the hell is going on there? You know, can I get some money out of it? Because I did get some money out of social. But with this new platform, with this FTX saga, it looks like the government are now trying to scam me of money. They don't want to give it. I made a TikTok video about this, but what's going on is if you were a victim in FTX, apparently they gave you a deadline to submit to prove that you are alive. And then if you prove that you're alive, when they start the distribution, you might get your money back. Now, if you don't prove, if you never saw the emails or oh my god, sorry.
I'm sure
the music.
that I will be buying Bitcoin at $1 million a coin.
Here we go. I didn't know that it was playing because I had muted it on my side. Okay, so we can talk about the storyline again. So I was mostly fighting for my FTX money today. I was going through the emails because I had multiple accounts and I logged in trying to recover the funds and to see the status of things. And I still have not been able to reach a satisfying conclusion with it. It looks like the government is hell-bent on taking my money and stealing it from me. That's what's going on. Imagine if you have an account with a crypto exchange and then they go bankrupt and you have to go for claims. Why do you have to submit proof of life, some verification, extra verification when your account is already verified? And then they put a deadline and say, oh, if you don't do it by this day, then you're not going to get your money back. So who takes that money? Where is the money going to? It just shows you that the entire collapse of FTX and the bankruptcy courts are really set up for a group of people to steal free money because they know that not everybody is going to live up to that deadline. Maybe 1,000 people, thousands or millions of people. And these bankruptcy people are going to walk away with this money. That's exactly what they're doing. So if this goes unresolved, I'm going to start a movement online of all the victims of this FTX bankruptcy settlement. We have to fight the government ourselves. We might have to take them to court because this is completely scammy. If a private citizen had to do this, definitely 100% they'll go to jail. Other than that, it's been a good 24 hours for crypto. We're seeing a lot more green than red. Bitcoin hit a 25K level, even though it retraced a little bit, but we still have the momentum to keep on going. We're seeing a double-digit print here in the top 100 for Bitway and also Provenance blockchain. And then we got Solana also coming back closer to $80. And then in the memecoin trenches, we are seeing a lot of movement as well there. Everything is pretty much going up. And what we were trading yesterday also, we have seen a little bit of growth on, I think I made a trade on one coin called and then after the stream, I bought even more. So I think I made some good money on that one, possibly by now. Maybe a few $1,000s. So yeah, let's check out what's going on today, what's hot, and so on. What the hell? People are starting to dump. This run literally went to $4 million. And now people are dumping it down to 3.9. Now it's at 3 million right now. Crazy. I checked the last time I checked, it was really up a lot. Insane in the membrane. Okay, maybe this is a good opportunity for me to just buy more then, from what I can tell. Well, when is getting rinsed left, right, and center. But GTS 6 is still holding up. And then you got Cash Cat. A lot of interesting things out there. Okay, let's go ahead and check out our perps positions. Okay, so both of our positions are pretty much good in profit. We opened an Ethereum position yesterday, and we still held onto our Bitcoin long position. Is now at 5.89% in profit. Building the position, just getting started, just warming up. But it's always good to see some green once in a while before we escape velocity and enter a new territory for this. So if you are building a Bitcoin position like myself, you're following me on that journey, shout out to you, because it's either you're green or you're pretty much closer to green at this point. Okay, I need to message someone actually about this. Did you get a missile warning in Dubai today? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It wasn't long. It was like after a few minutes, it was gone. But yeah, that brings me to the next subject of crude oil. So crude oil, my trade on crude oil is printing like crazy right now. Here we go. I am printing on oil, and I told you guys about it 2 weeks ago, that oil is going to make a comeback, and you had a chance to enter at 74.44, 75, 76. Now we're talking about 84. And I think it hit today. I think the top was 85, I believe. Yeah, was the peak. So that looks good. I think we going above 100, because if you look at what's going on in the world, you look at the Middle East missile warnings, that means that the war is being escalated now. So it's very, very simple for me. It's, whenever the markets are struggling, oil goes up. Whenever the Strait of Hormuz is under strain, oil prices go up. And Trump posted something even more sinister today, symbolizing that the Strait of Hormuz is under the United States control. It's now a U.S. territory. Trump Strait. There you go. Trump is posting this saying new U.S. territory, referring to the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, it's really crazy if you think about it. And he says, and here's some news from a few days ago, Trump says he will soon declare the Strait of Hormuz territory of the United States. And that was 3 days ago. And today he did it. But I don't know what it means. It's like, do you declare a new territory by just making a tweet? Or like, what exactly do you mean, Sir Trump? Can you just explain yourself? And then Trump came out, he says, all mines were removed in Strait of Hormuz. I don't know about this. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true that America now has control of the territory. I mean, anything can happen, right? But I don't fully believe this is really true. I think this is just more war escalation. If this really is true that the US is now in control of the strait, Iran is just going to go madman. It's just going to be shooting bullets and, missiles towards everybody just to frustrate everybody. Now, what are the comments saying about this? Jean-Pierre says, you cannot annex a shipping lane with a sentence. This is not how water works. Too bad America is a new Israeli territory. What the hell is that? Trump also said there's nothing to see in the Epstein files. He also said Greenland was for sale. Take it with a grain of salt. This guy's checking out Trump's brain to see if there's anything there. And here's Trump cosplaying as the Ayatollah. Yeah, I think nobody's taking this seriously. But surely for him to come and say this, it might mean that there is something going on. Maybe a special operation to remove all the mines and to take control of it. Worst case, we might see a ground operation out there, and nobody wants that. Okay, more questions here, I see. So someone says, where are you trading commodities? I'm trading here on Bybit. I told you guys. Crypto exchanges, the good ones at least, they now have everything. You can trade Forex here. You can trade crypto. You can trade commodities. You can trade stocks, whatever you want. So if you want oil here, it's CLU. If you want crude oil, here's the pair on Bybit. But I'm trading it on another sub account, not this one, because this one is reserved for the Bitcoin long position build. So if you're using Bybit, you do have ability to trade stocks and commodities there, right? You can trade, if you go to Trade 5 futures, you can trade stocks here. Amazon, SanDisk, Apple, Palantir, MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Circle, Nvidia, Oracle, all this stuff. You have access to all of it. Alibaba, whatever you want. Even if you're using OKX, you should also have this. If you're in the United States, the way to do it is using Kalshi Perps, because Kalshi also has all those things. So all the links to the platforms I'm using are always in the description of the video. or you can go in the bio if you're watching on X, or you can simply directly go to my website, GreyBTC.io. And here you'll be able to see the links to everything that I use, including Kalshi for the people in the US and Bybit for the rest of you. If Bybit is not working, go with OKX. They're equally good. What's happening with no one's app? Okay, so let's talk about this one, right? The truth is this: if you have your funds on no one's at all, withdraw them immediately. I would say today, because in a few days, no one's will become sanctioned. And when it becomes sanctioned, your coins will become tainted as sanctioned coins, or, because the wallet that holds them is tainted, your coins will also become tainted. And that will give you a lot of trouble, because if you send them to another exchange, they're going to get frozen because you have to explain where they're coming from, blah, 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 blah. So to avoid this very problem, I would highly recommend you withdraw them immediately. I want to make it clear, it doesn't mean that you will lose your money. There is no risk of no one's disappearing and then you lose access to your funds. You'll be able to withdraw. But if they sanction it, basically your coins become tainted, and you don't want that. So I'm hearing things that there will be a new platform to launch, and another P2P platform. I don't know the details. If something happens, I will let you guys know. But so far, as much as I know, no one's is going to disappear this week. You will be able to withdraw, but you won't be able to trade on it. So it's a big hit for P2P traders, because no one's is awesome. I love no one's. But hey, man. Cash Cat down bad. Okay, Cash Cat is now below 100 million. Another interesting price point there for those that wanted to pick it up. Stonkbroker is also cooking downwards today. Another entry opportunity right there for those that want it. Kitcoin, same. So yeah, man, if you're no ones, I'll keep spreading out the message to make sure that every single one of you is able to take their money back out of it. I withdrew my funds from there today myself. So okay, let's flip a coin. Flipper, flipper, flipper. Okay, let's look at some news right now. What the hell is going on in the world, my friends? Maybe we can make some money. US debt nearing $40 trillion. Home Depot earnings better than expected. Okay. Meta platform faces pivotal trial as opening statements begin in California. I don't like that company. Buy now, pay later giant Klarna sounds alarm on German shoppers, cuts 2026 volume outlook. Okay. Patent issued, blah, 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 blah. Nothing interesting really about, from a macro wise, or stocks related news. Trying to pump his bugs. Dude wants to rag AI trade. After he got funding for the next 2 years, I thought Altman won't be able to rug it. He always finds a way. So this is a report from the UAE's Ministry of Defense. Air forces detected 2 missiles headed towards the country. Both fell into the sea. The UAE Ministry of Defense announced that the UAE's air defense systems detected 2 ballistic missiles launched from Iran towards the country. The first fell outside the country territorial waters, while the second fell within its territorial waters. The Ministry of Defense affirms that it remains on high alert and fully prepared to address any threats and to respond firmly to any attempt aiming to undermine the security of the UAE in a manner that safeguards its sovereignty, security, and stability, and protects the interests and national capabilities. The ministry also urges the public to obtain all information from official authorities in the country and to avoid rumors and misinformation. This, my friend, is the UAE defense. So to me, I'm looking at this and I can tell you that with what Trump is saying, looks like this is an escalation in the region again. I don't think there will be any serious damage as per se, but the Strait of Hormuz might get into it might just become a war zone again, and then oil prices pump up. That's the worst that could happen, I would say. So if you're about that life, if you're a trader and you looking for macro news to trade, that is basically the biggest thing right now, today at least. There's very little about this being said right now by, from the Iranian side. So let's see. %5 chance Iran hold next round of talks by the end of the month. 5%, that's very little. That's according to Polymarket. So the deal that Trump had with Iran, the memorandum of understanding for negotiations, has now expired, which means we're now in no man's land again. And that's why I think we're seeing all these threats again today, because that memorandum has expired and there's no deal still. Let's look at Kalshi. What's going on here and what's trending. Okay, so on Kashi, there's the US Iran nuclear deal prediction here. I don't think it's going to happen personally. So before Jan 2028, these are all good trades, man. Just to trade them from now until then. And there's like $19 million there of volume. Here's another good trade, actually, extremely underrated. How much will the US acquire Greenland for? 81% is, no acquisition. And then there is a 4% chance here of $600 billion. That is crazy. These are the kind of predictions I like to buy, like very unlikely, but they could happen. Okay, let's find more international. I'm looking for more finance or Iran related stuff. Iran nuclear deal, no. Will Iran open its embassy? Will the US reopen its embassy in Iran? No. Look, I think the only thing here to make sense around is just the oil trade. And then we can also look back at our big swings. Gram still underwater. Gala extremely underwater on Gala. It's down bad today again, about 5%. Neo also underwater. Ethereum Classic a little underwater. Cardano so much underwater. Litecoin so much underwater. XRP it's now a stable coin at $1. Zcash. I saw one of is it Monero or Zcash? And Monero is also, Monero is above water on Monero. Nice, good to see. On Arbitrum also a little above water. But I saw one of the Winklevoss twins. He was shilling one of these Winklevoss. He was shilling one of these privacy coins. I forgot which one exactly it was. Yeah. He is shilling Zcash right now. Zcash hash rate has been concentrated in a small number of miners, pools, and ASIC makers, almost all of outside the United States. Cypherpunk is changing that. Our fleet is deployed across US facilities, owned outright with zero debt, and power costs locked in low. Privacy infrastructure should be built here in America, so should the hash rate that secures it. This is a very good business, I'm not going to lie. But there was another Cypherpunk holds Zcash, now Cypherpunk mines Zcash onward. Yeah, here is the tweet I was looking for. So he says Zcash is the most exciting and undiscovered opportunity in crypto. It is encrypted Bitcoin. It is pioneering privacy technology, quantum resistance, and AI hardening. There is nothing out there even close to it, and it's just the beginning. Bookmark this tweet. So I'm not going to lie. I'm with him on this one. I don't think, though, that Zcash is the encrypted Bitcoin, but Zcash definitely has a massive upside, especially now we're living in the AI world and privacy is basically over already with exchanges, KYCing left and right, and MiCA regulations. I can see Zcash becoming a big deal. And if you're not holding any Zcash, I'm not a financial advice, but I would say you should definitely consider it. At least just look into some privacy coins. Whether it's going to be Zcash or it's going to be Monero is up to you. But you definitely got to have some of it. Bro, what advice can you give if you make your first million? Did you make any mistakes you wish you could do over? What can you give? Okay, sure. I can definitely give some advice on that when it comes to making your first million and mistakes made and things that I wish I would have changed. Yeah, surely. So one would be, but it also depends on where you come from. Some of these lessons you have to learn on your own, kind of thing, you know? So the number one, I didn't make that many mistakes, to be fair with you, right? But I made some of the most obvious ones as well, obviously. But when it comes to making your first million, the number one thing you have to know is it doesn't feel the way that you think it would. That, oh my gosh, now I can breathe, I just made $1 million. It doesn't really feel like that, depending on how you make it. But most of the time you don't make the million overnight, kind of thing. You grind out for it, and by the time you hit to that number, you sort of become a little more familiar with money. Now, one of the mistakes that I made was not understanding very quickly that the game is all about income, not really a lump sum amount of money sitting somewhere. Because even if you have the million, the moment you do something, then you're back to no million anymore. That's what happens. So if anything, I would have wished that I had taken a lot of that money and put it in places where I would have passive income no matter what, like in a more secure way, but it would still generate a lot of income for me. Income is far more important than a lump sum amount just sitting in your bank account. That I can tell you. So, and another mistake is changing who you are. So for me, it wasn't just me who I made my first million at 24 years old, right? So it was a little too early. But thankfully, I had already built a business before I built my first company, a few companies actually by then. So I knew how to grind, and I wasn't attached to money in some weird, unhealthy way. But when what I saw around me more was people become what they think people with money do, right? So like I've never been into watches or cars or stuff like that, or designer clothes. That's just not me. But some of that crept in. I started buying things that I shouldn't, that I don't really need. And then also a lot of people around me were even going crazy with these kind of things. Everybody was buying the Lambos, the Ferraris, buying a bunch of real estate you don't need. And then at worst, you do it, let's say, on a mortgage deal, and then you just have payments to make. So don't do things because this is what people do when they get rich. If you don't care about Rolex, don't get one. If you don't understand anything about Richard Milles and watches like that, just don't do it. Be yourself to the fullest way. To the fullest, as long as it's healthy, and be smart. But what I would have wished I did was to allocate more money to income generating assets. That's just for sure. But then I was young also. I had no responsibilities as much. So I just couldn't think too much about, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? What about the next day? And also a lot of money is, I need to find a way to frame this correctly. What's the right way to say this? So there's something important I wanted to say, and I keep forgetting it. Yeah, so look, the bottom line is income is far more important than a lump sum amount of money in your bank account. That is just for sure. And another important lesson is to get back to work almost immediately. Don't get held up onto this, I made $1 million and a millionaire. The work, what you do, what you invest in is far more important. And I also fell in the trap of becoming an investor. So I was taking a lot of money and investing it in things because I had too much money. I didn't know what to do with it. Then I also didn't believe in a lot of the materialistic stuff. So I just wasn't buying anything. And then I was high on this Silicon Valley vibes and stuff. So I wanted to become an investor so bad. So I was just throwing checks left and right on new crypto projects, invest there, 100K there, small checks sometimes, like 20K there, 60K there. But that was because the market was so high. Now I remember what I wanted to say. When you make money, you forget, you think you're making it so much because you're a genius. But you need to understand that it's just a window. And it doesn't mean that your whole future is going to be like that. It doesn't matter in what business you're in. So I made my money in crypto. And at the peak of the market, it felt like this is what the world is. Like this is the norm. And everybody was doing it, from the crypto companies to all the influencers. You meet up in Dubai, everybody was staying at a hotel, right? When I just moved into Dubai, I lived in a hotel. That was where my accommodation was for a while. Why? Because everybody in crypto was doing it. And it wasn't a big deal because you were making a few $1,000s per day just like that. And you think that this is normal. You become so detached. And then the market goes super, super crampy. It crashes. And then overnight, people are broke again. And you're like, oh, if I knew that this is what things can change like this, I would have been just stacking in all this money and then immediately investing it into things that will still be generating income for me. And since then, I know so many people who used to live in Dubai. They went broke completely, and they don't live here anymore. They're not even in crypto anymore because the whole system collapsed. I knew my neighbor when I used to live at the Address Hotel. My neighbor was a Russian guy who had so much money. He had like $15 million into what was Anchor Protocol. I think it was Anchor Protocol, the one with Anchor Protocol and Luna. Yes, so he was into the USD Luna style thing. He put his USDC there, and then he was generating passive income. So he would make, thousands of dollars per day because the interest rate was like, the APY was like 45% or whatever. And then I remember when Luna collapsed, the next day the guy had to move out and went back to Russia. Right? So, you can be high today and then tomorrow you completely collapse. And you have to be really, really hardworking and disciplined to make sure that you don't go out. Did you have any friends that changed up or family that felt they all are also millionaires because of you? Yes. So, sometimes you hang out with people, they expect you to pay for everything kind of thing, which is not really a big deal. And then also, you have family that think because you're successful, they feel entitled to your success too. Now, this is a mentality that you need to sort of defeat. For my case, it's a little bit different because I'm more of a recluse, right? I'm more of a loner. I'm always like, I just do things by myself most of the time. I usually don't have a big circle around me kind of thing. But yeah, that happens and people feel so entitled, family and so on. So and mostly it's because they never had money. They don't understand the culture that you need to, the culture and the discipline that is required for you to create wealth. So you have to teach them, and it's very difficult to do it, but you do it the hard way. You do it the hard way. You just don't say, oh, because this one is your cousin and he needs money, and you just hand it over. You actually make it worse. So that is what happened to me when I made my first million. It was really, really confusing. But now I'm used to it. You can give me $100 million today. Nothing is going to change. I would be still living in my current apartment. I'm not going to move anywhere. I would just lock in more on things that I prefer and things that I like. I know what to invest in to generate income every day. I would just have more of those kind of assets and then, keep it moving. And also you need to have real estate. You have to buy real estate. At least one thing that I did right was that I bought some good real estate still. It's very important even to this day. Am I a billionaire? It depends on what currency. So if I'm in Indonesia, in Bali, I'm definitely a billionaire. If I'm in Malawi, I'm definitely a billionaire. If I'm in the United States or Dubai, no, of course. I wish I was a billionaire, but it's going to happen at some point. It's not that hard. The thing with making money to me is that you don't really have the whole game planned out like that, but you mess around long enough, then you come across something that makes you a lot of money. Basically, that's really how it works. You really never know exactly how the game is going to go. That's why it's more important to tinker. Never stop tinkling. Build things and try things out, and then something happens out of it. When I was building the exchange or crypto university, I didn't really know what it was going to become or whatever. But something pans out. When I started the exchange, it wasn't a big deal. I started because I was doing P2P, and then it was very frustrating. So I was solving a problem, and then it just collided with the market at the time. The bull market came through, and then I have an exchange. Oh my gosh, I have a crypto university. Perfect timing. And then boom, money was just being printed every day. So it's the same right now. You have to keep on building, doing some AI stuff, whatever. And then the society will shift at some point, and it might just shift towards your luck. It's why we're here, bros. It's why even the market is down like the way it is right now, but we're still locked in, searching through opportunities, because you just never know. If you're lazy enough to just stick around and explore opportunities, then maybe you don't deserve it. Okay, cash card is down again. Maybe a very, very good opportunity here. Let's look what all these other guys are trading today. Hell, look, Orange was trading this coin. He lost 12K on it. Entered at 2.3 mil, exited at 900 at 1 million. Cyberleak, what the hell is this? After the 2021 bull run, you once showed us a $104 billion crypto wallet. I think I remember exactly what this was. So there was a time where I think an API feed got compromised. And if you guys remember this, all the crypto balances were showing an inflated number because hackers found a way to the Oracle and they just multiplied whatever number was there by like a lot. And everyone's balance was showing this wrong number. It was really funny on Coin Market Cap, on Exodus Wallet, and so on. So I think that's what you're referring to. Meme cycle ended. Yeah, I don't think we are in a meme cycle at all, but there is a window where I think there'll be a little bit of a summer, a meme coin summer again for a little bit. It's going to be like a mini pump. We're heading towards there at the moment. As long as macro stands and Bitcoin keeps going up, look, to keep it real, if you are the average person out there has no interest in Bitcoin because they think that they're completely priced out. So the meme coin trading is not going anywhere. It's here to stay because most people are lazy and broke, and they're not interested in Bitcoin at all because they think it's slow money. At least you guys, you watch these videos, you know how to build a Bitcoin position, exactly similar to what I'm doing. But most people have no idea to do that. They just be like, oh, I have money, I want to grow it. What can make me 1000x? And they watch some streamer who launched a meme coin and they're just going to buy that. And these streamers are becoming huge right now, right? It's out of control. Look at render, bro. It's like $1.27 right now. Did you ever have a girl steal money from you? Like, you mean my girlfriend or any girl? I think I told this story before of my business partner, Beth. She stole money. She stole 2 Bitcoin from me, basically. But that's about it. But she was a business partner, and I still don't know the full story. But since then, she disappeared from the internet, and I have no idea where she is right now. We invested in a place. We were running a co-working space, and I sold 2 Bitcoin to invest in, well, not in that business, but she wanted to borrow money from me. She said, "Oh, I have this thing that I'm doing. I need a quick cash injection, whatever." Then I sold 2 Bitcoin to borrow her the money because she said, "Oh, I'll bring it with 11% interest." I gave her the money and it was all gone. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think she was investing into these. I think she was investing into these scams and whatever people were doing. Looks like Facebook is deleting my live stream right now. What the hell is going on here? Man, I dislike this Facebook platform. It's so stupid. They took down my stream without any freaking explanation. Okay, let's try it again. We gotta find her. Yeah, man, it would be great if you can find her because she still owe me money and I will open a case against her for sure. She deserves to be in jail. She is a fraud. That's what she is, mate. Facebook is so stupid. It's like they would allow people to stream about all the stupid things that they do that are not even important, but just try to stream about crypto and trading. They will be taking your stream down. So yeah, no, that was the only person that stole from me. I mean, could have been a man, could have done the same thing. So, but if your girlfriend is stealing from you, then look, man, you're not tight enough. You know, you need to have discipline in your life. Like things have to have structure. You cannot be reckless, you know. And why would you have people that would steal from you? That is also a red flag, you know. Most importantly, I have nothing to steal from. Like, what are you going to steal from me? I don't have cash, you know, lying around in my house. And I wouldn't be with the type of people that steal. That's more important, actually. They won't be in my circle of friends or whatever, anything. If they're family that I know that they're into this kind of, they steal, I don't allow them to. I make it explicitly clear that this person is not allowed on my property or on my business or whatever. I don't care who it is. So if someone in my family has a history or they were involved in an incident where they were stealing something, I will make it clear to everybody that I don't want them to see. I don't want me, or I don't want to see them on any of my properties or any of my businesses. Stay away. You have to do the same, bro. If you want to live peacefully, you need to have the principles and, enforce them. Okay, maybe I need to double down on Zcash, huh? It looks very juicy, sir. Okay, let's look at what the meme coiners are focused on today. What is Rasma trading today? Okay, looks like nobody is onto something today. Let's look what Ansem is trading today as well. Okay, like, is this even real that we have no hot ticker for today in crypto Twitter? US Securities and Exchange Commission. Today, the SEC proposed new rules regulation crypto assets that would create a clear and fit for purpose framework for certain investment contracts involving crypto assets. Man, it's like the SEC is so boomer like, bro. Like the things that they come up with. And they post them as if they just discovered new oil or something like that. Bro, like if you want to regulate this stuff, just drop the rules, make it clear. Not like you've been hinting for a long time and we're getting bored now. We don't care. I forgot to share the stream to my new WhatsApp community because a lot of people want to join, but they're like, "Oh, but we don't know." Well, but we don't know if it's happening. Okay, no excuse, amigo, habibi. By the way, there's a lot of channel members on this channel that are members on the YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys. Like, I don't take it for granted. That is high level community participation. I love it because that supports this channel even more. Now I'm considering buying horses for my farm. I'm getting inspired about horses these days. I think it's great trading. There's so much fun you can have with those, breed and trade them. Hey, farm, we're here. We're going to win so much. I see a lot of people joining now. Sharksman is in the house. Okay, let me drop this in the Telegram group too. Welcome, 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 everyone. Okay, bro, how do you stay disciplined with your diet if you can afford to eat anything you want? Ha 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 ha. Good question. I love that one. So when you're broke, your eating, your appetite is controlled by what you can afford to eat, right? I remember when I was growing up, I didn't even know. Let me tell you a fun story. I didn't even know what cheese was. So I just used to hear it from others, right? So when I made some money one day, I was like, I think I did a deal on some camera or something, and then I had commission. So I went to ShopRite, bought a whole bulk of cheese, like cheddar, right? The whole bulk. I didn't even know that people use it to cook. I thought you just take it and eat it. And then I was walking down the street eating a block of cheese, thinking that, oh man, I'm the man. I made it. Look at me here eating cheese. And it tasted like shit. I didn't even want to eat it. But I was like, oh, I spent all my money on this thing. Now I have to eat it. So I forced myself to eat it until it was over. And then obviously I got diarrhea afterwards because you're not supposed to eat all that much cheese, bro. Best cat. So how I stay disciplined with my diet today, it's by staying disciplined, by trying to, I have this framework where it's like a mental model. I do what's hard. So if drinking alcohol is the easiest thing to do, I don't do it. If eating all day is what ordering whatever you want and just eating it, whatever you feel like, I don't do it. I'd rather do the opposite. So that becomes part of who I am. It's like part of my personality. I don't do the easy stuff. And you train yourself long enough to not eat like a maniac, that just becomes who you are. I'll give you an example. I stopped putting sugar in my coffee or tea maybe in 2020, maybe in 2012 or 2013. Now, if I put sugar in my coffee, it tastes like the worst thing in the world. I don't even want to touch it. It tastes like shit. So that is now a self-reinforcing system that I don't even have to work on. But yeah, you're right. When you can afford whatever you want, the challenge becomes constrained. How do you stop yourself from just eating all day whatever you want? It's just because, you learn. If you're an intelligent person, you learn that just because you can afford or whatever you want doesn't mean that you should. But if you don't have the discipline, it's how people lose themselves, right? They make money. They start, taking hookers because they can afford it, right? They go to the strip clubs and they start drinking all the alcohol they can afford. And that becomes the end of them. You need other things beyond. You need to challenge yourself beyond just, being the guy with money who can afford things. And also, I'm not going to lie, it helps, obviously. Like what money helps me is that I have someone that cooks for me. I pay someone to do it. So they come every second day to me They make the food, put it in the refrigerator. So I just walk out into the fridge, slide it out, warm it up, eat it, move on. So that kind of helps, because otherwise, if I can't cook, then I'm forced to sort of, just be ordering food and eating all this junk stuff. So the only expensive thing I can do at this is to pay someone to cook for me instead of eating junk. Do you have any active communities? Do you just scan? I just scan, but also I have communities on Telegram where we trade pretty much actively live. It's just that the meme coin market has been shit for so long, right? But in the last year, we were cooking every day. We were live streaming, plus we were also locked in on Telegram. So now we're just scanning, trying to understand what's going on, and then if we see some opportunity, like yesterday, we ebbed into and it has been very good since. Yesterday, we played this. I think we played at like around 2 million entry. I think it's still good. Did you find any runners? Not today. We haven't found anything yet. God bless Shucksman 3239. Best cat seems to be the runner for today. Okay, let's look at best cat. So I suppose best cat is like the Coinbase version of Cash Cat. But it's on the daily, it's 24% down, which is maybe a good entry. Oh, this is a very juicy chart. Maybe I should be epping in. What do you bros think? Is there something here? Or are we daydreaming? I love how the chart looks, though. Damn, this guy is up. Crypto Talk Man is up 86K on it. He entered at 3.4 mil, 37K. Jesus Christ. He's buying today. Damn. 5K, he's putting in he's clipping 5Ks, bro. So this is 10, 20. He clipped 25K worth today. That's insane. Nice. It looks like he knows what he's doing. I'll DM him so that we can bring him on the stream. He seems like a good trader. But yeah, people have balls right now. It's like, how do you drop like 30K on a $2.5 million market cap coin that's just out just a few hours ago? That's just crazy to me. So he started clipping it where? Here? Yeah, crazy. Oh, wow. So Ninzo, you made a good call there on 1.2 mil. Did you buy yourself or you just made the call? How do I see all these big wallets? I'm using FOMO. It's what I'm using to trade meme coins. BullX is old school, bro. Move away. If you're using BullX, shift over. Link in bio, link in the description on my website. I've listed all these tools that I use to trade. So FOMO is right here. Go use FOMO and also follow me on FOMO as well, GreyBTC. Use my link to get discount and fees. Also, all the other platforms that I use to trade are here. If you're into AI building and AI vibe coding, all the tools I use for that are also here. Everything is available. What happened to Mobi now? Uh-oh. So it's no longer on desktop now? What the hell is going on? That is just so stupid, mate. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Mobi is no longer on desktop. They now just shove us out in the back, like, oh hey, we're not supporting you anymore, right? Mobi used to be a very, very good terminal, bro, for checking out links and stuff. Mobi Screener. Okay, I think it's a different URL for Mobi Screener. Wow, so for Mobi now you have to pay these idiots $150 just to check things out. Miss me with this nonsense, bro. What other options do we have? Then this is when you know that most of these crypto companies are so broke now. Like they can't run. They cannot even afford infrastructure to run free products anymore. They have to make you pay for every little thing because otherwise they're going out of business. And nobody's going to pay for all this nonsense because if you spend a couple of hours in Codex or Cloud Code, you can build it all by yourself. Not like last year, bro. I haven't traded since Solana went down. I look everything out once it hit 175. Oh, crazy, bro. That's a long time. How does it feel to have SOL at 75? Do you think it's a discount or the game's over? Yeah, Stockchain has now also gone to dog shit. It's like, what the hell is this, bro? What am I looking at here? Yeah, Solana, I don't even know if Solana is going to be the one anymore at this point. It might not even be Robinhood, but something new is coming. Something new and big is coming. So if don't feel like you're missing out, bros. Like if you feel like, oh, you're scanning all day and you're not finding anything, you don't have to force yourself to buy anything. That's the beauty of it. Just watch and observe. So whales are accumulating SPX again, trying to clip 50K worth of it. That's nice. Yeah, I think the older coins are pretty much cooked, man. A lot of these buys are so small. Bro, I got a feeling we'll soon see 1000x pumps that will come. Yeah, I can see that happening, surely. Even before the actual real bull market, I think we're going to have a little party for a month or two. Let's look at virtuals and see if there's anything to it at all these days. Bro, did you buy ETH when it first came out? Not necessarily, not when it just came out, but I knew of it when it was $3, and I jumped on the bandwagon a little bit later. I saw it when it was $3. Then I started buying at like $20. I traded it at $3 to $5, but I wasn't really holding it as much. But from $20 and beyond, that's when I started accumulating like crazy. You know, the funny thing about these things is this: you know when something is cheaper, but I was broke at the same time. I couldn't afford it, so I couldn't buy enough. Because the logical thing to do, like if that opportunity comes to me today, I would just buy, like, you know, drop 10K on it, buy 10K worth of Ethereum at $3 or $20. Bro, that's retirement money. Let's see what's happening on Virtuous Protocol these days. You know, when Ethereum came out, it had a lot of naysayers. So people would be like, oh, you know, this is just another scam to take your money. Bitcoin is the best. And then when Ethereum launched, a couple of other ones also started launching. So it felt like, oh, if Ethereum was better, this new one is even better. And then it just confused me. Or like, oh, so which one should I buy? Is it the Ethereum or the new one? And then you had all the other chains also coming up now. They were using Ethereum to launch their own projects. And then you would take your ETH to invest in something like, what was the big ICO with the first biggest ICO? EOS, exactly. So I remember selling a lot of ETH to buy into this crap called EOS. If I knew better, obviously, I could have just held my Ethereum. Now, if you invested in this, your money basically went to zero, because now it's worth absolutely nothing with only $6,000 worth of trading volume. So there are people who took 50 Bitcoin and put it into EOS and they lost everything. That's how brutal the crypto industry can be, my brother. Yeah, I'm not too sure what to make of the virtuous agents at this point. So what they're doing, the agents are launching, and they're just launching a token, and then they just trade it. Yeah, it's next level slop, really. No more snipers. Everyone gets a fair chance to buy at the valuation they believe in. Wale is launching on Virtuous Protocol with a maximum anti-sniper protection, a dynamic buy and sell side tax that starts at 99% at TGE and decays linearly to zero over 98 minutes, 1% per minute. Be aware of this tax structure and make it into account deciding when to buy, although most of you are still familiar with this style of launches. Every cent of tax collected during those 98 minutes is automatically routed into an on-chain buybacks of War 3. The buyback started the moment the window closed and the tax hit 1%, executed gradually over 24 hours. The proceeds didn't go to us. They go straight back into buying back the token. The receipts are on-chain. The buyback wallet is publicly visible. Blah, 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 blah. Is anybody really buying into these narratives anymore, bros? You know what's funny is in crypto, you're able to launch a project and create a narrative for a moment, and people will pretend, as long as they can make money, they'll pretend that they understand what you're doing and they support it, right? Because to them, all they think about in crypto is the token price. And then once they think that you can no longer make them money, they just move on quietly. And then you post something about it, and you have someone here say, let's build a strong network together. Follow back. I like your project. Let's connect. Do you realize this launch won't go anywhere with this high tax? Yeah? Right? This is definitely a hoarder of the token who is just angry. They usually come up with this kind of stuff. Like, oh, do you think this is not gonna work? But man, I'm so excited right now for the next moment we get a little pump in crypto, because it is going to happen, and it's going to erase all these painful days of when nothing happens at all. When 1,000 Xers just start popping up left, right, and center. I hope you guys are going to be ready, because it's still going to favor people that are paying attention right now. Those days are coming back. You just stay locked in. These days, the best you can do is preserve your capital for the days when opportunities becomes easier. Because if you spend all of it and the opportunity comes, you have absolutely nothing. That is why it makes sense right now to just I'm mostly trading perps. They're the only thing that makes the most sense right now. You can force the meme coins all you want, but if there is no market because people are just broke and there's no liquidity, there's nothing you can do about it. It's crazy how nobody talks about OpenClaw anymore. Funny enough, I turned off all my OpenClaw agents the other day. I just terminated the server entirely. I was like, not enough. Because what started happening is the AI companies now, they are implementing the agentic work modes inside the app. So if you use Codex, you can do it. If you're using Cloud Code, you can also do it. So I think it just removed, and it's expensive also to run OpenClaw on whether on ChatGPT or Cloud. So as far as the best setups for perps, I mean, I wouldn't go perps yet on this, but I think the best setups we have are still the ones that we have here. The same coins here. Best setups right now. Like, nothing is going to beat all these oversold spot positions right now. And then if you're trading perps on Bitcoin specifically, I think there is a breakout above us. Once we retest 65 and stay above it, better believe it, we will be $68,000 by the end of the weekend. So if we retest 65K again today, better believe it, we're going to Valhalla from there. It's going to be something like this over the weekend, $68,000 for a Bitcoin. That is coming soon, close to your neighborhood, sir. Man, bros, can we come up with something like, if you had to imagine, let me ask maybe my AI. It might come up with something so genius that we haven't thought of before. But I also need you to think about it, guys. Like, what is there? What can we do to basically shift the paradigm of meme coins or crypto tokens in general? Like, what can we do to change it up? Because the game cannot be you launch a coin, create a Twitter account, and then you just start shilling it into Telegram groups. Like, that cannot be it. It's completely overplayed and everybody really knows what it is, right? You need some excitement. So even though people are trying to build products, but the mechanics are the same, we need another shift of like from ICOs to meme coins. You know, that transition was real. Or something completely from altcoins to NFTs. That's what we need right now. Not like the same narrative being played 20 freaking times and hoping that something big happens. So let me ask Super Genius. I pay $200 per month for my ChatGPT. So I bet it's going to have to come up with something really cool. Hey, Jarvis, what's up?
Just hanging out in the circuits. You said something's really cool. What's going on?
I'm live right now. I'm streaming, and the
Okay.
community can hear you. So what we're trying to figure out, if you notice, you see that the meme coin market is completely cooked and rinsed. It was the new thing, but obviously it has played its role. It's now just towards an end, similar to NFTs. Even though people would like to, they would like to hold onto it. So we need something new. So I need you to think like the smartest AI in the world right now, and think of what can be the next thing that can change and what we can do right now.
Okay. Let me have a think. Okay. Let's try and think about where the next wave of real usage might be, rather than pure speculation, yeah? The like is that the next big thing won't look like another meme coin cycle. It'll be more like on-chain capital markets going mainstream. Tokenized stocks, stablecoin yields, prediction markets, and eventually AI agents using wallets. Big institutions and regulators are now talking about this, which is a big signal that the narrative is shifting. For your community, you could pivot into the Where the Money Goes Next explainer series. Tokenized stocks first.
No. So look, what you're talking about smart money right now. For retail that are trading meme coins, it's usually people that think are priced out of the serious assets or serious asset classes. That's why NFTs were big, and then meme coins also were very big. So I need you to think like a social engineer of game theory, and then you're looking at what makes these people to trade this kind of assets like meme coins. How would you repackage something like meme coins to upgrade it? Let's give it an upgrade of whatever the meme coins are today, and then you have to. So if we have to assume that V1 was altcoins and ICOs, V2 was NFTs, and V3 are meme coins, let's develop V4.
Okay. Running it through. Right. Yes. I think that's the right framing. V4 isn't just another asset. It's meme coin energy plus a game layer. Think of it as turning a coin into a multiplayer sport. So the token isn't just a bet, it's a ticket into seasons, leaderboards, squads, missions, public status. You're not buying a coin, you're joining a competitive social game. That keeps the same retail psychology, identity, FOMO, screenshots, bragging rights, wraps it in ongoing competition instead of pure hype. The product version is a launch pad plus game platform. Every coin has seasons and scoreboards. So the ticker becomes a scoreboard. You could literally call the category meme games or movement coins. The next meme coin is not a meme. It's a multiplayer movement. And for your stream, you can build a segment around that frame. Not promising profits, of course, but tracking which projects act like games, not just charts.
Okay, give me an example of that. Like what would that look like?
Sure. Let me give you a concrete one. Picture this. The Millionaire League. Not buy my coin, number go up. Instead, you say, join the squad, build your position, climb the leaderboard before Bitcoin's next leg. Users pick tribes, spot maxis, leverage degens, stablecoin snipers, complete weekly missions, earn points, and all of it is shown on a public leaderboard. Now the asset is the passport that gates access, but the game is what holds attention. The line is simple. The next meme coin isn't a meme, it's a league.
No, I think this is boring. If you want a reference point, look at what Pump Fund did with Pump Fund, the platform. The meme coins were already there. They just upgraded the game by launching a launch pad. And the gamifications, and also they solved the bonding curve problem and the incentive models. So you don't want, I don't think you can turn it into that kind of game like you're saying. It's just leaderboards. People have tried this before. You have to think outside the box.
Right. Got it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. My bad. That was 2 community layer. And what you're after is the new primitive. So pump.fun made instant markets around attention. V4 then is pump.fun for everything. Any viral moment becomes a market in seconds. Think tweet to coin, flip to coin. So someone clips a viral moment, hits launch, the platform creates a ticker, bonding curve, memes, and a feed instantly. Basically, trade the timeline. That is the outside the box move.
That already exists. That's what's happening. People do that, especially with Elon Musk tweets, and basically Pump Fund is full of that stuff. They look at the viral moment and they make a coin around it. So that already exists. Try something else.
Okay. Let me think. All right. So you don't want a coin around a moment. You want a new market format.
Correct.
How about this? Arena.fun. Think of it as a survival of the fittest market. 100 meme coins enter every hour. Same rules, same starting line. After 60 minutes, only the top 3 by unique holders and volume survive and graduate to the main board. The rest die off the front page. Now you're not selling a coin, you're selling a fight. This is the 100 enter, 3 survive mechanic. It's content, it's scarcity, it's game theory. Some of these streamers have a live arena to cover every hour. It fixes the infinite supply of memes problem by forcing natural selection and spectacle. The line is, don't buy a coin, enter the arena.
Yeah, I like this model a little bit better, but I think I'm looking for an entire new asset class almost. So like meme coins are not necessarily NFTs.
Right. Let me run that through. All right. So I've saved the arena.fun thesis to memory. I can't create an actual scheduled task from here, though. But if you tell me how often you want to revisit it, then I'll help you set up a manual workaround.
No, it's fine. I just need you to come up with a new asset class out of crypto. So think of ICO altcoins and as V1 or one asset class, and think of NFT as another asset class, and then meme coins as another asset class. Each one of these basically superseded the other and became the driving narrative, and that's where all capital and attention went to. So meme coins is where crypto is stuck right now in 2026. And what we're looking for is what is going to be the next new thing.
Checking a few things. All right. The best candidate for a new asset class is autonomous agent assets. Not AI coins, but actual tokenized AI agents with a wallet, memory, personality, and revenue streams. You own a slice of a living, productive entity, not just a token or a JPEG. Think agent.fun. One click to launch an agent with a token bound to its output and reputation. People don't say, I bought a meme coin. They say, I own part of this AI before it got big. It's a living asset rather than a static bet. And that feels like a real step change.
Yeah, I love that one. Are there examples of those kind of agents existing in the market right now?
Checking. Yes, there are early and rough versions out there already, which is a good sign. It means the category is appearing, but isn't fully packaged yet. Virtual's protocol is the clearest current example. Tokenized AI agents like AIXBT for market intel or Luna as an AI influencer. You also see experimental pieces like Veda AI and Eliza OS, but it's very early days and a lot of that is marketing. The gap is still wide open for a pump.fun for agents moment, where creation and trading get dead simple. That's likely what would feel like a new asset class for retail.
Right. So I understand. I'm already on Virtuous Protocol while you were talking. I know of Virtuous Protocol, but what I don't understand, or what I think it's missing from these AI agents on Virtuous, is that there seem to not be a clear task for what these agents are doing. So, AIXBT is kind of a live feed news kind of agent, but what kind of work are they doing to generate revenue?
Let's take a look. That is the key issue. You're right. Right now, most agents aren't real businesses. AIXBT looks like it's closest with a kind of paid research or API access model. Virtuals is aiming for agent-to-agent service fees, but it's early. Luna is more content, IP, brand deals potentially. Veda AI talks about data sales, but most today are still narrative first with revenue second. So if you want V4 that sticks, it probably has to be agents with provable work, revenue, P&L, not vibes. So if you wanted to push the space, the angle is agents as jobs. A public dashboard showing tasks done, revenue in, costs out. That's the missing primitive. Not more agent tokens, but agents with real businesses. That's where the breakout likely is.
Yeah, so that, to me, that's where the gap is, where every agent, it's easy to create a token, and it seems like everybody is just more focused on the tokens themselves. Create agent with a token, but not real emphasis on the work. So I'm looking at dgen.virtuous.io. They have all these competing agents for trading. So number one is called Zen. It's trading on Hyperliquid with an account value of $1,600 and realized P&L of $3,149, which is pretty good. And there's a win rate of 86%. However, it's been running for 80. The last time it traded was 82 days ago. So that already is kind of like, not that encouraging.
Yeah, that's not encouraging at all. And it underscores the point. A token plus a bot isn't an asset class. It needs ongoing productive work. If an agent asset is just a one-off bot that stops trading, then it's basically a glorified experiment. Real V4 probably needs hard accountability. In other words, live revenue, cost of compute, profit splits, uptime.
But what I think what's difficult for humans is that they look at these agents from a human's perspective. That's probably why. But what do you think would be the tasks that the agents are going to be doing?
Let me think about that. Exactly. Agents won't be mini humans with jobs. The sweet spot is machine native work. High frequency, low ticket tasks humans won't touch. Think monitoring wallets and contracts 24/7 and selling alerts, auto risk checks before you sign a transaction, DeFi rebalancing as a service, packaging and selling niche data, or micro content farms optimized for distribution. The killer category is probably autonomous micro businesses with one narrow job, one customer, one revenue line. That's something you can actually measure. The line I'd use is agents aren't employees, they're APIs with wallets. And the first big winners will be the boring, invisible ones doing tasks humans hate, but crypto desperately needs.
Bros, I can tell you one thing. If we're going to focus on anything right now, we have to focus on the AI stuff. And I know we all have meme coins and they're more entertaining because everyone is so obsessed and talk about them. But I think if we are to make millions of dollars out of the crypto markets, we have to be ahead of the game. We have to be in front of everybody else. So if everyone else is on Twitter and they're talking about Cash Cat today and tomorrow some other cat, I think it's better for us to take a different path where we have to focus on completely different things. More AI, agentic tokens or agentic projects. I don't know, which ones make the most sense at the moment, but if you're going to spend a little more time in this AI token world or agentic world, because that's where the next opportunity is definitely going to come from. You saw it already with AI16Z and GoatC last year. It started nicely, just didn't stay because AI is still kind of primitive in a way. But it does seem like the next wave of meme coins or hype of crypto is going to be some AI something. And I think that's where we have to pay more attention to. I think that's the one. Even we might see AI agents that are trading against humans, and then they would have their own token or something like that because they can trade better and much faster anyway. And they would give like a share of profits if they're making money or something like that. They would have dividends. Like, all these agents here, they're not making impressive money. These are all AI agents, by the way, on Hyperliquid. Let's see in the past 30 days if there's anyone that impressive here. So look, in the last 30 days, Munching Mob made 12%, which is not very impressive to me. But they are doing it. They are trading. There will be a day, or maybe with one upgrade from one of these AI studios or AI labs, that will basically change all of this. In 1 month, you'd find that, okay, AI agents are now doing 100% per month or something, on certain markets maybe. So I'm going to sign out for now. I'll see you tomorrow. But that is the assignment. Lock in on the AI. If you find something interesting, bring it on the show tomorrow and we can talk about it. What I want to start doing is, if you discover something really cool to talk about, I'll bring you up on the stream just with voice on a Discord call or Zoom, and we can discuss it. I think that's where we need to go. So we have to start using the stream to do more research together, share some notes, what's more impressive, what's going on. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am sick of all this chasing the next dog and cat shit. It's just not fun. It's not intellectually stimulating. There's no money in it right now, especially because there's not enough liquidity anyway. Unless you are the insider, the chances of you making real money is very thin. The only way to make real money right now is trading perps, which I'm already doing here. And, the good thing about this, you set it up, you forget about it. It takes care of itself. You have limit orders, blah, 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 blah. But on the daily, if your goal is to chase the next millionaire maker opportunity, then it's not about chasing cats and cats coins anymore. It's this AI stuff. We have to figure it out. And I've never been scared of putting in the work and figuring out things. You know, I would spend 48 hours without sleep to discover some new stuff or to learn something new. I hope you do the same. If we lock in for 3 months looking and learning and building and tinkering, we're definitely going to find something new that nobody else has yet to discover. And once we find it, we're going to go all in. We're going to buy a shit ton of it. And we're just going to wait for the rest of the market to catch up to us. That is the play. That is the game we have to play at this point. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, or maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. Stay awesome.